So the OnePlus 6T just wrapped up for us, and do you think you know everything about the OnePlus? Well, turns out you do. Yeah, everything. Literally everything. Literally every single detail, you know it. But let's recap. So, not to say that this was a bad announcement, a lot of this actually was very, very exciting. The OnePlus 6T has a built-in fingerprint reader underneath the display, which is actually the first phone that can be bought in the US that has that new technology, and because it's OnePlus, it's very, very fast, very, very efficient, and they say it unlocks very, very quickly and is incredibly secure, so you can still use it with banking apps, so you don't really sacrifice much security for the sake of a more clean design, not having to put the fingerprint reader on the back of the phone anymore, so that's really good. They have a more clean looking notch now with that teardrop design, which I'm a fan of. I think it looks far more clean than all of the standard notches we're seeing these days, and also just it's not the 3XL notch. It's almost like OnePlus saw what people wanted and then made what people wanted based on the complaints they saw about other smartphones. So I think the running theme with this video is going to be, Google, are you listening? You could have done this with the Pixel. Why had whatever. The design they also made a tad more futuristic with the OnePlus 6T by shrinking the chin down a little bit more. Still has a tiny bit of a chin, but overall thinner bezels than the last OnePlus phone. Same CPU, Snapdragon 845, basically same internals. It's supposed to be just as fast and industry-leading chips, and OnePlus phones always seem very, very speedy due to their quick and low-lag animations. So I'm sure this will perform very, very well in speed tests against iPhones and Galaxies and Pixels, of course. And the most exciting thing about it is they were able to keep the price point at the same $550. They still have bullet wireless headphones that cost around $70, USB-C headphones that cost $20, but that brings up the thing that they didn't really want to talk about at all during the event. There's no headphone jack on the OnePlus 6T. They didn't dedicate any part of the event to, so here's why we removed it, here's the reasoning behind it. They just pretended it was always gone, and that it had always been this way, and that the headphone jack is gone, but a lot of people are used to that these days. I'm definitely not worried about that being gone, but to the major OnePlus fans out there that were really holding true to the fact that they could get a OnePlus phone and they kept around the headphone jack, that's a better phone. Can't use that argument anymore. I'm sorry. Hopefully the DAC audio support with the USB-C headphones will be enough for you. But in regards to things that aren't there that kind of bum me out, wireless charging. 2 OnePlus phones in a row with a glass back that still don't adopt wireless charging. I really don't think the technology is that expensive to implement, though that brings me to probably the best thing about the OnePlus 6T. It starts at $550 for 6 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of storage. That is insanely good, especially at the end of 2018. That is a pixel killer. That is a huge threat to the Galaxy lineup, and a lot of people are probably going to try to tell you that's the iPhone killer, but as we've talked about before, iPhone versus Android is a whole different battle. More of an argument than just hardware alone. A lot of it comes down to software and app store preference, so I wouldn't really see the OnePlus 6T as a huge threat to Apple, but the Google Pixel brand is really who should be worried. You just launched a phone with big bezels, one camera, for $800, and now the competition is launching something with 2 cameras, 128 gigs of storage for $550 with much thinner bezels than you. A lot of people, I think, are going to go through with this. I admit, like, not having wireless charging kind of sucks, but it definitely does not make the OnePlus 6T worth it to a ton of people. Obviously worth a subjective, but when your price is this low comparative to the competition, Pixel 3 starts at $800 for like the basic looking one. The new iPhone's now starting at $750. Galaxy phones start at $700. And then this new guy comes up with in-display fingerprint reader, a very futuristic design that has yet to be rivaled in most of the Android competitors, and it starts at $550? This thing's probably going to do pretty well. I could understand why a lot of people in the Android market are excited, and I could see this easily becoming one of the top sellers for the Android community. Am I planning on getting one? Looks really good, but I'm buying a lot of phones right now and testing out a lot of different phones and reviewing a ton of different phones, so I'm not sure exactly if I plan on ordering one and trying one out, because I'm going to start the Pixel 3 30-day challenge in just a few days, so it's very likely I won't get this phone. But if OnePlus wants to hook us up with one, you know, Google's a much bigger company than OnePlus, and they sent us one, so maybe we can work something out. I don't know. But other than that, it's a pretty straightforward keynote. A lot of the presenters were kind of cringy and a little boring.
Everyone, so many faces. I love faces. The smartphone has the ability to empower people in deep and rather meaningful.
There was a lot of fluff to this event that definitely didn't need to be there, but at the end of the day, they were still announcing good things, exciting things. I just felt like we didn't need an event for it. I felt like this all could have been done via website refresh. I was a little shocked that it only came in 2 colors, both of which are black. One is just glossy, one is just more matte finish. Hopefully that doesn't get marked up. Usually OnePlus phones ship with a few more color options, but I'm sure more will come out throughout the year. But overall, great things. Complete praise, complete respect from the Apple sheep telling OnePlus, keep doing exactly what you're doing. You're making the most ideal, perfect Android phones that have ever come out. And as I predicted, I think the OnePlus 6T is the best Android smartphone to launch in 2018. You guys have your own thoughts about the OnePlus 6T or your own concerns or anything you're excited for? Do you plan on getting one? Please let me know with a comment down below. This is your Apple Sheep here, and I will see you in the next one.